That's why I'm against people taking dogs' ears and tails off. Yeah? Because they use it for communication and talking, right? So if I said it on a human way that you would understand, if I cut your tongues off, I take your eyes out, take your ears off, I take your hands off, your legs off. Now you try and communicate as a human being to other humans. Yeah? That's why I'm against people that take dogs' ears and tails off because of that reason. Yeah? If it's a medical reason to why they've had to have their ears off or their tails off, like they've been hit by a car and now they've lost their ears because it can't be saved, or they've lost their tail and it can't be saved by a vet, yeah, then fair enough. That's had to happen because to save their life and because it can't be saved, yeah. Taking dog's ears off. If you think by going around telling the people, the public, oh, we take their ears off because it stops them from getting ear infections or ear problems, that's a load of lies. As a human being, yeah, and I can talk from very experience of having ear problems, you don't sit there chopping my ears off, saying that's going to save my hearing, even though I'm deaf in one ear and I've got a certain amount of hearing in the other. Doesn't make your hearing better. Doesn't bring your hearing back. You've just chopped off my ears for no goddamn reason. Yeah? That's the same thing that you're doing to dogs. You have no need to be cutting their ears off. Yeah? It's like you as a human, when you're born with what you're born with, it's what you're born with. Yeah? They don't sit there going to you as a human baby, oh, I've got to chop you all up into pieces. No. That's the same with dogs, cats, whatever. What they're born with is what you should leave them with. Yeah? I'm against people cutting the ears and tails off. Yeah? Plus, because also it is crucial and it is part of dogs and cats when they talk to you. If you pay real attention to your family pets or your animals that you've got or gone and got, if you pay attention, they're talking to you all the time. It's like dogs will do this expression. They'll do that with their head. And that's because, same with the ears, when they do one forward and one back, that's, I'm using my head now to say I'm confused. But like, I'm a bit miffed. What's that about? So they'll do that with their head side to side and give you that look when you make a funny noise. And when it's all new to them, in their younger days, if you pay attention, you'll make a funny noise and the dog will go, it'll go, it'll look at you like that and then it will go, oh, what was that about? Oh, yeah? So it's a form of their language. They're already communicating with you without words, yeah? That's like if you get a deaf human being, yeah? You imagine they're not paying attention with your words. So when you're playing music, watching the telly or talking to them with your voice, they're actually paying attention to your body language or reading your lips to memorize what your lips are doing, yeah? Or they go by feel or touch. It's like, example, you as human beings, you seem to pick up with the wrong people because you're not paying attention even to your own human beings around you. So then what happens is you're misreading them. And then similar situations in life, you'll have someone walking their dog. You've got someone who don't like dogs. But instead of just keep walking normal, you've now got this person who don't like dogs, made it very clear they don't like dogs, and they don't know what they're doing, and they'll just start running and screaming. You're like, you look like a right nutter doing that. What's that about? And you're just walking along with your dog, you know, as normal. And then you'll get, going back to the other thing, oh, I forgot what I was saying now. But anyways, all I'm saying to you is that you're gonna have this in life where you need to pay attention, yeah? Because when you as another human to another human being, if you're not paying attention with their body languages, oh look, now you're stuck in that broken record of toxic. Now you're attracting the toxic ones. Now you've been abused again. And that's what you get when you have people that lie, yeah? Or they're fake, or they're phonies, and they think by doing all of that makes them more interesting. It doesn't. You just sitting there manslaughtering the people of the public along your ways and your travels and abusing everybody and yourself. And it's like dogs or cats or whatever, you can trust them. And the reason you can trust them is because they'll be the best companion you've ever dreamed of, where human race is becoming lack of, yeah? Where once upon a time, human race had more of that, yeah? And now they're lacking that because of your internet thing. You think, oh, I'm going to get more thumbs up, more likes, or if I do this. Hang on a minute, you're coming across like a form of attention seeker. So now you're not doing it for the right reasons on the internet. You're now teaching the younger generation to do it. Why would you do that? It doesn't make them more interesting. It doesn't make them more popular. Oh, look, now you're getting them to hurt each other and put it on the internet for everyone to see. And now you're laughing about it. Hang on a minute. You're laughing about other people hurting themselves to get thumbs up and likes. That don't make sense. Because if you physically was on the receiving end, that's not funny, is it? And it's always the way that when it happens to you, oh, did that hurt you? Hang on a minute, they're laughing at you. It's not funny, is it? Because it's not. But getting back to animals, it's like you'll get idiots. If similar situation, you wouldn't do it with your human children, so why are you doing it with your fur baby children? Yeah, you just wouldn't do it. But what you get is these idiots will put these videos up. Oh, look, this dangerous animal, it's attacked the people of the public. Oh, this dangerous animal, it's now on the internet, the news, la, la, la. Oh, we got to blame the breed. No, we got to blame what it looks like. Oh, what can we do? Because you're trying to dig yourself out of a hole that you did to yourself. Then you've done to that poor animal, yeah? And then you've done it to the people of the public yourself, yeah? And the ones innocent in all of that toxic circle is actually the animal's innocent, even though it's done wrong. But the animal's innocent and the people of the public are innocent. And that's because you that's done it, you're sitting back going, oh, I've passed the blame now onto the animal, onto the people of the public. Now look at me, I've got away with that. Hang on a minute. No, you're the one to blame for that. Because what you've done to that poor animal, we all know the truth, what you've done to it. You've abused it. So God forbid if you have children, human, because you'll just abuse your own children. So it already says what your character as a person is. You are abusive, yeah? So this is what I'm trying to explain on a human words, human talk for you humans to understand from another human, which is me, so that you can understand truth. And that's why it's really good that they're now bringing out that if you're at fault, you're going to get punished. Not everybody else. Because not everybody else around the world with their animals was with you at the same time, the same place where you did it. Yeah? Where you cocked up with your animal. Where you taught your animal to do it. Yeah? The whole world with their animals weren't with you. And that is why the rest of the world with everybody else's animals are not at fault and are not getting punished for it anymore. Yeah? And they should have done this a long, long time ago. And the only reason they didn't is because certain countries, well, you think America, certain other places, you can have a gun in your house. Yeah? And be legal and have a gun. So you think because you can't have a gun in your country, you're using dogs or you're using an animal instead. The rest of us do not blame the animal world. We're blaming you as the human. You chose to go do that. Anyways, I'm going to go now. But pay attention to your animals. They're talking to you all the time. They even brought out them buttons. And you've got to think that your fur babies, they've been trying to talk to you, communicate with you all the time. Since the day you got them. But they're now having to work that bit harder for you as the human race by going, well, you put words in that button and I'll push the button and tell you what I'm saying. But really, if you have real bonds and you really are in sync naturally with your animals, with your pets, you won't need them buttons, you know. I mean, it's a good idea and it's good for the people, the public that don't know what they're doing, but they can't have a button everywhere they go. Press me a button all the time, you know, because you as human beings, you don't sit there going, I've got to read a book, I've got to read a book, I've got to read a book. That's a book and a button, it's an item, yeah? You're not going to physically really be learning something by doing that. You have to physically learn it and do it. If you take away that button and you take away them books, now you really learn. Now you really do. You really earn it. You really get it naturally together. It's like when you have human children, same as your fur baby children. From the day they're born or the day you get them, you're learning about what they do and don't like, what they can or can't do, what they're good at, what they're not good at in learning, naturally, without the books, without the buttons, to see what they grow up and into, who they are. Because you can't tell me you've read every single book and now you can do every single job of everything. No, you can't. Same as when it comes to those buttons for the dogs that you've brought out. As much as it's a good idea, you can't sit there carrying buttons all around with you all the time going, press a button, press a button, press a button. What you want? And the only way you're going to get that naturally is spend real time together with your children, with your fur baby children. When you spend real time together and you really get to know each other on deeper levels, because you think when you've got a newborn baby, same as you got with your fur baby children, human babies, they can't talk when they're first born. But you somehow know when they cry what they want. You somehow know when they're upset, that they're ill, without using words. You know they've got a stomach ache because they're not talking when they're first born humans. So how is it you as the people, the public, can do that with your children, human babies, that can't speak English or speak Spanish or French when first born? You know when they're upset, you know when they need a feed, you know when they need a dummy, you know when they need their bottoms changed, you know when to bath them. You see what I'm getting at? And it is the same with your fur baby children, dogs, cats or so on. It's the same. But for some reason, once you get past the baby human stage, it's like you forget, oh, they've learnt to talk with words now. So now I don't have to remember what that means. But really, if you was any decent real parent to your human children, your fur baby children, you'd always be in sync. You'd always know what your child or your fur baby children are talking about. Because you'd always be in sync. That don't just vanish. That's just because you lack in, oh, I really bothered, I really care. Oh, but now they're talking, oh, I can relax a bit now. Oh, now they're talking, I don't need to worry about that now because they can talk with words. It's called being lazy. Right, I'm going. Love you all. Hope this helps you all. But I will try and talk real talks. And I'm not going to lie, but at the same time, I'm trying to say it on a human way so that you understand. And I try and use simple ways, because sometimes you'll get people that use these big posh words and you're like, hang on a minute, what's that word mean? Because not everybody knows what big posh words are. We could use posh words and language all the time to confuse you, because that's what it does to a certain amount of people. It confuses you. And I'm not going to confuse you. So that's why I use simple words choice, so that I break it down and make it easier to understand. And you're like, oh, wow, that really makes sense. So what I'm doing is not just to get you to understand in here or listen here, but I'm breaking it down more simple so everybody of the whole range understands. Yeah, ticks the boxes for all. I could use big words all day long, but now I've only got a percentage of the people, the public, that understand what I'm saying, because I understand what posh words mean. But the rest of the people, the public, don't have a Scooby-Doo what I'm talking about. And that's called confusion. And I hate it when people use confusion tactics, because then what happens is this is how they reel you in. That's just as bad as being fake and phony and lying, because you're not using the whole truth, but then you're sort of using posh words to confuse them, to keep them confused. Why would you want to confuse people for? If you had their right, great intentions to begin with, then you wouldn't need to be confusing them. Yeah? Right, I'm going now, but I will do more videos, and I do it for the people, the public, real talk, and to help everybody, okay? But pay more attention to your fur baby children, because they are talking to you from the day you got them. Don't matter what age, they are talking to you the day you got them. Same as your human babies that don't talk with language. But you know when they need a bottle, you know when they need doctors, you know when they're unwell, you know when they need something to eat, drink, bottom change, dummy, blah, 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 toy playing, you know. That's the same with your fur baby children. Just pay attention. You're naturally doing it already, and then you just give up because they start talking. But that's the bit you're missing when it comes down to your fur baby children. Yeah? Remember, they don't talk with these words, but they talk with everything else. And they're always talking to you always listening. Yeah. Right. I'm going now.